So here we are in 2.83 LTS using Boxcutter 717.18. So with our robot here, we'll just press D to jump into our pie menu and switch to custom, and we'll press C in order to make this the custom cutter. So after deselecting it, we'll now begin drawing this, and we can see that the initial draw is just a little bit choppy, a little bit choppier than we'd want it to be for such a heavy mesh. Of course, this mesh is 90,000 verts, but we're just going to bring this up and tab to make it live and click to apply. And there we are, of course, able to draw the mesh that we had selected. So let's try that one more time, and we'll just draw the mesh out. Press tab to pause, press R to rotate until we get it at just the angle that we want, maybe facing forward like so. We'll grab the extrude dot, bring it up, hold shift in order to snap it to 1:1, and there we have drawn the spot facing forward just like the other one. So we will attempt to draw it again, and we see that with each subsequent draw that it begins to get a little bit slower and a little bit choppier with this, because this is such a heavy asset, and this is something that's just a battle of us in speed, and it's something that we're always trying to mitigate, and this release of course is no exception. So here you've seen me attempt it using our previous version, using the LTS as kind of a test bed. If we minimize this, we're now over in Blender 2.93, which is where I spend most of my time, and here I'm using Boxcutter 718.0. And so for this, we'll do the same thing. We'll press D, switch over to custom, and if we press C, we can deselect this, and let's just begin drawing it. And we see that already it feels a lot more springier and responsive than it did previously. So we hold shift to bring it out, we bring it up, tap to live, and we don't even have to tap to live. I just like tabbing to live to look at it right before we apply it. So we'll do the same thing again. We'll draw it out, hold shift, and while we may never get absolutely the speed that we want, it's just something that I'm happy to announce that has been improved in this version, is that you should definitely notice a speed improvement. So we'll just continue drawing these, and there we go, and I'll draw another one here, and we'll just see how quick I can actually draw these things, of course keeping their proportions. Proportions was a big focal point of one of our previous releases, so it's one of the things I'm always testing to make sure it remains intact, because being able to draw shapes exactly the proportion and depth that you took them in is something that's important. And here you see me drawing this army of robots to really bring that point home. So here we'll press R to rotate. I was about to press shift tilde, which would have rotated inside, giving us a most undesired result. But here we are just drawing an army of robots, just showing how much faster everything is now in this version of Boxcutter compared to its last one. And not saying that this was something that you couldn't do with an earlier version. It's just something that I'm now able to see is visibly a lot better. Normally speed optimizations is one of those things I try to avoid talking about in update logs, because it always triggers people to come back and argue that things are truly not any faster because they're using a potato system or whatever the case may be, or AMD hardware, whatever it may be. This one is definitely one that will be changing things from here on out because of how fast it's making things go. And these same optimizations are also coming to HardOps as well, but just want to show that now custom drawing and our ability to draw with heavy meshes has now been optimized multifold.